Hi everyone, my name is Ksenia, welcome back. So first of all, it's very dark and I'm very sorry. It's almost winter and I live in the north, so it gets dark very early. And it's now 1 o'clock, it feels like it's the evening. And yes, there will be more of that way ahead because it's just the beginning of the winter. So I have a book review for you today. It is On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean. I should have checked his surname.
My name is Ocean
Wong.
I submit this poem in solitude.
Okay, so Ocean Wong. So first of all, I would like to say that impulsive buys aren't for me, because this was an impulsive buy. First of all, I was looking at the black and white cover of this book for many months since it came out, and I was just obsessing over it. It's so beautiful and I definitely wanted that one. But then I saw this cover in the bookstore and I thought, oh, orange leaves and it's autumn, yay, let's buy it. And I just bought it on a whim, and now I kind of want that black and white edition. Never mind. But the second thing why impulsive buys aren't for me is that very recently I started to check books that I plan to read, to check the contents a bit more. I still don't like to know about plot or anything, but I'd like to know like trigger warnings and stuff like that, just because since having a baby I became a bit more I don't know, tender or sensitive, I guess. And it's harder to read about various topics. So I should have checked this one's trigger warnings because there is a lot. But anyway, what it is about is that it's a letter that a young man writes to his mother, and his mother cannot read, so he writes this letter knowing that she will never be able to read it. So he's 100% honest. So yes, this is basically what it's about. It doesn't have any plot, and it's mostly the feelings and some of the untold truths that the son has in store for his mother. I would say that my review would be a little subjective, because I like that style of books when it's plotless and it's mostly focusing on emotions rather than actions. But I was not prepared for the amount of grittiness and uncomfortable parts. Like I said, all of those trigger warnings, I was not prepared for them. Yes, and I was just floored. So yeah, I was definitely not in the right headspace for that book, so I didn't enjoy it as much. The other thing that I didn't quite enjoy, it has to do more with, well, not plot, but the plot, so to say. It is that the beginning of the story, it centers mostly on the protagonist and his mother and his grandmother, they're immigrants from Vietnam, and there's a lot about war and about immigration, about trauma. It's very deep and very, uncomfortable, but at that point I wasn't bothered that much by how uncomfortable it was, because I saw a lot of merit in other things that he described, and I could justify the uncomfortableness of it all because because the topic was so harsh. But then the protagonist, he meets a boy, they start a relationship, and it's also very there are lots of problems and it's very raw, and I liked how it was described and I liked that it was very real. But I thought it was, I don't know, I didn't think it connected that well with the storyline that was happening in the beginning with mother, grandmother, family, immigration and war. And it was, I don't know, I felt like I was reading a different book suddenly. Yeah, and I just thought that all the themes that were happening in the beginning of the book were abandoned, but all the raw and grittiness and just all of this stayed, and I could no longer justify all of this for the themes because I didn't feel the themes as deeply. But I will say that I definitely see the literary merit in this book. I can see that it is very beloved and it's widely read, and I think it's great because it's, first of all, it's written very beautifully because Ocean Vuong is a poet. Because Ocean Vuong is a poet and he writes like a true poet. It's like most of my book is underlined and marked. There are so many beautiful lines, and it's not just that he writes beautiful lines without any meaning behind them. He actually connects some of the lines that he had in the beginning of the novel, and then he connects them to something that is happening at the end of the novel. He connects them to the plot. He connects seemingly unconnected descriptions and observations. He connects them together. It's very beautiful, and I loved it. I loved it from the linguistic point of view. So yeah, that's definitely a big plus, and this is why I can see that the book is beloved. And also one of the best things about this book is that it deals with so many uncomfortable things. There are a lot of hard topics, like I've already mentioned: immigration, war, a lot of trauma. There is abuse, there is addiction, mental illness, like the list goes on and on and on. That's why I'm saying that there are so many trigger warnings. And the book really deals with them in a very respectable way, and it's not just there for shock value like some of the books have, like I'm not gonna never mind. All these topics are talked about with dignity, with respect, and they are explored very deeply and in a very nuanced way. So this is a huge plus of this book, and yes, that's why I'm saying that objectively this is a very good book, and it doesn't need any plot. It doesn't need to be romantic or beautiful or tender. It is what it is. It's very gritty and it's uncomfortable, and it deserves to be so. It doesn't try to apologize for what it is, but for me it wasn't what I needed, it wasn't what I wanted, and I felt very uncomfortable throughout the whole reading process. And I feel like while reading this book, I've also read 3 other books, maybe 4, just because I had to take breaks and I couldn't read it for long. So yeah, I'm glad I've read it, I'm glad I finished it, and I'm so glad it's over and I can just put it somewhere far away where I can't see it, because even looking at the cover right now gives me uncomfortable feeling. So yes, goodbye book. That's it, I guess. I've already said goodbye book, so this is it. And yeah, I guess if you're still here, first of all, thank you so much, it means a lot. And I just wanted to say that I have no idea if I will be able to continue with this channel. I mean, I hope I will be able to continue, but I'm not sure I will be able to post content like maybe weekly or so. Even now, I think I posted maybe once in 2 weeks because there is not that much time to do that. Or, I mean, there is time, but I guess I have different priorities. So I kind of wish I would have been able to do YouTube more, because I really enjoy it and I enjoy watching booktube as well. But unfortunately, I cannot do it as often as I want because there is not that much free time. And when I have free time, I kind of end up doing something else, which I think is good, because booktube is great, but also it's when I have stuff to do, it's kind of procrastination in a way. So yeah, there are a few booktube channels that I keep watching, but there aren't, unfortunately, I cannot devote more of my time to that. So yeah, I don't watch booktube as much, and I don't do booktube videos as much, so unfortunately I have no idea if this channel will continue living. I really hope, and I really hope that posting occasionally would be enough. Yeah, I don't know. That's the idea, that I have no idea. And let's just see what happens. For now, I enjoy doing these videos once every 2 weeks. We'll see. And thank you so much if you're still here. That, like I said, that means a lot, and I really appreciate it. So I will come back soon, I hope, because I have this book, The Light Tree, which I loved so much, which is the best book I've read this year, and I will talk about it soon, I hope. I will try. And yeah, until then, goodbye.